taking a look at the permissions that we have within WorkPAK. So something that makes WorkPAK unique is that within the same program, it brings together multiple users, whether it's your planners, your cost analysts, your inspections, operations, scheduling. There's so many different types of departments that can work within WorkPAK simultaneously. However, that kind of brings up the question of, well, how do we keep things private? Because you may not want someone that is from the field that's doing inspections, say, to come in and look at all of your cost information that you have set up for that specific event or turnaround. Well, the solution to that is with the permissions that we have set up in WorkPAK. So I just went into the system setup and then into my users screen. So to back up a little bit, WorkPAK is broken into kind of two different sections. We have our system permissions, and then we have our event permissions. Our system permissions pertain to all of our global items that we have that are typically in the background for most people that will be accessing WorkPAK. So that could be our equipment list, crafts, materials, tools, and anything that we have entered at the system or global level. So you definitely don't want to have just every single user within WorkPAK able to access these global dictionaries that you have. When we talk about event permissions would be any permissions that pertain to a specific event or turnaround. And if I turn a few of these back on, these would be all of our different events that we have. It could be our projects, it could be our turnarounds that we have. Event permissions pertain to these specifically. So let's go back into our permissions. So when we are looking at this, we can see the split of our system permissions over here and event permissions over here. And so it's easy to go through and assign permissions for either one, whether it's system or event. And something that we can also do is we can set up specific profiles. So if you're adding in a lot of people at once and they're all going to have, let's say, a lead planner permissions, instead of having to go in and check every single box over and over and over for each person, what you can do is you can select their names, and then we could right click, and then we could say assign system profile. And so when we go here, this is going to show me all of the system profiles that I have saved. And now these are customizable. These are the ones that we have set up in WorkPAK, but these are customizable for each site. So I could go in and say, okay, for my system, I want to give all permissions, no permissions, or this is for a scheduler. Whatever it is, we can easily go in and assign these permissions. At the same time, if we move on to the event, we can look at this first one, add or remove event to user. And so this is showing all of the current active events that we have within WorkPAK. And all of these events are currently assigned to myself right now. So this is where you go in and assign those events to the users. And again, you can do this at the same time. You can highlight multiple names and assign these events. And then what I can do is I can go in and look at each one and then determine the permissions that I want to have. So for this event right here, for this documentation event, if I scroll through and look, then we will see that I have all permissions except for this update plans permission right here. If I wanted to change this, let's say I only need to be able to export to the schedule, and I can come in and I can change my profile, my permissions profile. And so my scheduler profile that I have for that event allows me to view the scope. I can view the work list. I can view CWRs. I can print. I can export to Primavera. I can view my craft rates and so on. It's everything that would pertain to a scheduler. And then to change it back, we can just go back in. And so now we see that I have all permissions pertaining to that event. So this is extremely useful, having these profiles that we can save and that we can assign very quickly. And then also having that extra bit of security, since we do have so many different people that are in WorkPAK at the same time. It's nice to be able to have this security where you know that your users in WorkPAK are seeing the things that they need to see, and they're not seeing everything else that does not pertain to them. So thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned. We will have more videos featuring the different highlights within WorkPAK.